local news gets, serving Westchester and the Hudson Valley.
Tonight on News 12, the feds descend on Ramapo. Swarms of FBI agents raid homes, businesses, and yeshivas in Rockland County. I'm Suzanne Colucci. What a day it has been. Nearly 300 FBI agents took part in today's raids. The searches are over for the night, but the feds call this an ongoing fraud investigation that is only getting started. The focus is on how federal education dollars were spent by religious yeshivas. So far, no arrests have been made. We have learned that today alone, 22 separate search warrants were issued. News 12's Paul Devlin begins our coverage. He's at one of the yeshivas in Monsey raided today, and he's got more tonight from there. Paul.
Suzanne, it has been an eventful day in Rockland County, especially here in Monsey. About 9 o'clock tonight, this parking lot in front of the Yeshiva of Monsey was totally packed with unmarked squad cars. Residents were milling around, and inside, FBI agents were searching for some type of equipment, and they came out with a lot of computers. It was all part of a day-long raid. News 12 was there as FBI agents in bulletproof vests and local police conducted raids throughout the day. The feds are investigating whether some Rockland yeshivas are improperly spending federal money obtained through the government's E-rate program. It began in 1998 and distributes more than $4 billion annually for computer and internet access across the nation. The raid started just after 1 p.m. Wednesday and continued until about 9 p.m. Along with home and businesses, we saw FBI agents go into several yeshivas with search warrants, leaving with computer equipment in at least one of the cases. Authorities had no interest in answering questions. Neither did many of the students milling around the yeshivas while FBI agents were inside. And as I mentioned, those FBI agents came out with a lot of computer equipment. So it certainly has been an interesting day here in Monsey. In Monsey, Paul Devlin, News 12.
All right, Paul, thanks for that. Well, even though there has been not one arrest so far, the day of raids has cast a dark cloud over the town of Ramapo. Our Team 12 coverage continues now with News 12's Tim Cassidy. He's outside Ramapo Town Hall with reaction from there. Tim.
Well, Suzanne, since these raids were actually taking place in Ramapo, we were hoping that Christopher St. Lawrence, the town supervisor here, would be able to shed some light on this whole thing, but we're told he has no knowledge about what's going on at those yeshivas. Take a look at some video, though, because there was a massive meeting here tonight. It was a zoning board meeting here inside Ramapo Town Hall. Several dozen Ramapo residents were here trying to stop 2 new yeshivas from being built, totally separate from where the raids were happening today, as those 4 raids were happening at yeshivas in this town. We spoke with one resident tonight who has major concerns after seeing those FBI agents in his town today.
It affects everybody. If there's any monies that aren't being spent correctly, especially federal money that's not being spent correctly, it affects everybody. It affects our taxes, it affects education. It's not healthy. So I'm just hoping that, with all the raids that took place today, that the students and, of course, taxpayers, everything gets cleaned up.
Now, earlier today, we did speak with the Ramapo town attorney, Michael Klein, who tells me that in relation to the raids that are happening at the yeshivas, it has nothing to do with anything here at Ramapo Town Hall. Now, you'll recall that about 3 years ago, the FBI was here at Ramapo Town Hall. They were looking for documents related to the funding of Provident Bank Ballpark, but we're told tonight by officials that the raids 3 years ago and the raids today have nothing to do with each other. At Ramapo Town Hall, Tim Cassidy, News 12. Suzanne, back to you.
All right, Tim, thank you. Well, tonight it appears the investigation is widening as we are learning now that there were also raids conducted today at religious schools in the Orthodox community of Kiryas Joel up in Orange County. And even down in Brooklyn, look at this. A similar photo shows a raid today at a yeshiva in Williamsburg. FBI agents there and New York City investigators on the scene today. Do stay with News 12 and News12.com for continuing coverage of the Ramapo raids. We'll have much more on the focus of this federal probe coming up a bit later on this half hour. And new tonight.